you doing, Hector?
Great.
It's been months, right? It's been months since the last time I've been here. So
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Maybe almost a year.
Was it? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I've been seeing some newer stuff. Last time I was here, So
yeah, things come and go. Sell some stuff, bring some stuff in, and just keep the thing rolling.
Yeah, I can see you've been getting more Hot Wheels and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and you have a special guest or a friend.
Yeah, we have security at the store right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hector, I know, right? We're secured. So you've been in the music business for how long now?
Since 1977.
1977.
Going on 50 years next year.
Oh my God!
That's what I said.
77. So where was I? Back in 77. I was still in grade school, man.
You were in diapers, probably.
Most likely, man. So So going back, so you've been meeting all these famous musicians. So
yes.
Yeah. So please tell us who you met. And,
well, it's a pretty long list. Let's see if I can do it in chronological order. But
of course, go ahead.
The first person that I could say was famous was John Cale, who was a member of the Velvet Underground. And with
John Cale, is that?
Yeah, and with my band, the old band, the Zeros, we toured with John Cale. We did 3 concerts up and down the West Coast. We did San Diego, LA, and Berkeley. And then that was the first time we met somebody that we, thought was a big rock star,
Right.
And, Velvet Underground, that was with Lou Reed, was the leader of that band.
So what instrument did he play in that band?
Well, he would play guitar or he would play violin. I mean, he was multi-instrumental. He was doing his solo tour at the time, and we were the opening band for him.
Wow,
and
nice.
Then in February '79, we opened up for the Clash in San Francisco, and we obviously hung out with them for a little while in the dressing room. I got to meet all 4 of the guys. They're really, really nice.
How was Joe Strummer?
He was super cool. Nice. Really, yeah, because I remember when we were in the dressing room. I went into the dressing room first, and I was there by myself. And then, like 5 minutes later, walks in Joe Strummer, and then Paul Simon, and then Mick Jones, and then Topper, and I'm like, what the hell? Here I am all by myself with the whole band. Of course, it was a surreal moment because I thought, and I really loved their first album, and their second album has Tommy Gunn on it, but. I was wearing this pin on my leather jacket. It was at that time, around '79, there was some civil unrest in El Salvador. And there was the Sandinistas, who were basically the supposed rebels, fighting the government. And they had a logo. It was like a black triangle, kind of next to a red triangle. And I had a pin of that on my jacket, leather jacket. And Joe Strummer saw it, and he said, "Oh, I like your pin," because he knew what it was. I mean, they were very politically very conscious.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, thanks, man," and then I thought, I'm just going to give it to him. So I took it off. Said, "Here, I want to give you this,"
Wow.
And he was, "Oh, no, I can't take it." I said, "No, it's just, I just want you to have it." And he goes, "Oh, well, thank you, man," and we shook hands, and then, I kind of like just got the hell out of there.
Right.
I got to get out of here. It was quite a moment.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We also opened up for Devo in LA.
The Devo.
Yeah. So, I've known Mark Mothersbaugh for a long time. And
when was this, by the way?
Around '77, earlier '77.
Was it on their first tour or?
They were actually in Hollywood to sign the record deal with Warner Brothers.
Just about to start on their major tour.
Yeah, they had already been in LA before. We got to see them play in a really small place called the Larchmont Hall in Hollywood. And then...
Hold on for a second. Are they American?
They're from Ohio.
Oh, okay. So they're from here, basically. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And so the second time around, they came out to sign a record deal with Warner Brothers. And they had I think 3 or 4 shows at the Starwood in Hollywood, and we got to open up for them. I think it was 2 of the 4 nights, and that's how we met them and hung out with them. That was pretty cool, you know.
What was their first album? I had no idea.
I think it's got Whip It on there.
Really?
Yeah, and Mongoloid, which is a great song. Mongoloid, just the Mongoloid.
Because remember that Stones cover song that they did.
Oh yeah.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, that was a little later. Yeah,
Okay.
but no, yeah, their songs are really cool. They're really fun. You know, they're just a fun band.
Oh yeah.
You know, got the little going up to LA. We used to stay at a hotel called the Tropicana.
Sure.
On Santa Monica Boulevard. It was a very well-known hotel because all the musicians would stay there that come in from out of town. Blondie would stay there, and you name it. You know, and that one weekend that we went up there, the Ramones were in town and they were staying at that hotel. And we were up on the 3rd floor, and we were hanging out by the balcony, looking down into the courtyard down, and there was a pool in the center of the courtyard, and there's the Ramones lying around in their little Speedos and T-shirts by the pool. You know? And my buddy, how
was Joey, by the way?
Well, I mean, my buddy Robert Lopez, we were like looking over the balcony, and then my buddy Robert goes, "Oh, there's the Ramones down there. We should go say hi to them." And I was like, "No, I don't want to bother them." You know, I mean, I don't usually want to do that. But anyway, so we didn't go down there. But later that night, we went to the Whiskey. And we weren't playing. We were going to go hang out and see a band. And I think it was actually AC/DC, their first time on tour in the U.S.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. And that was the other thing, too. So we get to the door, and we came across this one DJ that we knew, and he knew the Ramones, I guess. But we said hi to him, and my band members went inside, and I was standing out there on the sidewalk, and then my friend goes, "Hey, you want to meet Joey Ramone? He's up on the second on the balcony up in the Whiskey." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." I mean, he invited me. I wasn't going to do it by myself, so I went up there and introduced me to Joey Ramone.
Wow!
And I said, "Hey, man, I really love your music. It's really great." And we just said hi, whatever. And then I didn't want to bother him. I left.
Yeah.
And then the funny part with Johnny Ramone was, probably 2 years before he passed away, I think, I went to a NAMM show in Anaheim.
Are we going back? What year was that?
Oh, this is way later. I was already working at Taylor and stuff. This is many, many years later. Probably 2000 and, I don't know, 4 or something like that.
Before he passed, you said?
Yeah. I went down there. I went to a NAMM show. And I was looking around, you know, like everybody that goes to the NAMM show, they look at all the guitars and the drums, whatever. And I came across the booth that had Moss Right guitars. And I thought, those are the ones that the Ventures used to play. And then Johnny Ramone had a Moss Right guitar.
Oh, okay.
And I saw the guitars, and I only focused on the guitars in the back of the booth. And I walked through these 2 tables that were like next to each other, and I walked through there, and I'm looking at the guitars, and then this guy walks up to me, and I realized at that moment, I'm probably not supposed to be back here, you know. And I said, "Oh, hey, man, sorry, I just got
there's a certain limit, right?"
Yeah. But then it was like, as I turned around, on one of the tables, there was a guy sitting down there, right? And then I looked at him, I'm going, "Holy hell, that's Johnny Ramone." He's sitting down there, and there's this, and then I looked down towards the table that way, and there's this whole line of people waiting to get his autograph.
Of course.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, that was just totally unexpected." But that was really funny. So I got to meet 2 Ramones, I guess. You know, but yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
So you did meet Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just
after all this long line, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was by accident. That wasn't my plan. I just suddenly I realized, oh my God, that's why all these people are here. Johnny Ramone.
Wow.
Giving autographs.
How long was the line, by the way?
Oh, it was long. Okay. It was long. Believe me.
Yeah, you could tell that he was really famous.
Oh yeah.
Still to this day.
Well, yeah, the Ramones will always be up there with everybody else.
Very influential band, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, really fun too. They're really great songs, you know. I really like that. About them.
Who else did you meet from the band Ramones?
That was it. I never met Dee or Tommy, you know, but
wow.
yeah.
Who came first in the scene? You guys or the Ramones?
The Ramones were had a record out already. I mean, the New York music scene was already ahead of the California music scene for sure.
Yeah,
the punk scene at CBGB's. You know, you had the New York Dolls.
Well, that's New York, right?
Yeah, you had the Ramones. You had Talking Heads. You had all these other bands from the East Coast getting out there, and then all that stuff came over to the West Coast. And next thing you know, it's like this punk rock scene started to happen in all the major cities on the West Coast, like LA and San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, the big cities. San Diego's a big city, but nothing was happening here.
I was going to ask you about that. So going back in San Diego around the time, so we didn't have a club for punk rockers.
Well, there was no punk rock bands. There was no.
Oh, there was not.
No, I mean, you know,
it's hard to believe.
Well, that's the reality.
Well, I think you guys were the first one, I guess.
In San Diego, yeah, because we formed, the Zeros formed in 1976.
Okay.
You know, I met Baba, the drummer, in Chula Vista Junior High, and you know, I was into like the Beatles and the Ventures and all that, and that's what I would practice my guitar to and my bass to those songs. When I met Baba in Chula Vista Junior High, he's
your drummer.
Yeah, in the Zeros. He was into Kiss, but he also liked Aerosmith. But then he also liked the New York Dolls and the Velvet Underground, which is not commercial rock and roll, and the Iggy Pop and the Stooges, the MC5, and those were like totally more, rebellious type of rock. It wasn't like Fleetwood Mac or Leonard Skinner, you know.
Yeah.
So he turned me on to a lot of those bands, and then I really got into that style of music.
Yeah.
Then we became a band, but the guy who wrote the songs, Javier, he was into Lou Reed a lot and the New York Dolls.
Right.
And so he already had written a lot of songs.
Yeah.
You know, in that sort of style, kind of, you know. And so when I joined, there was already original songs in the band.
Oh,
when Javier.
Okay. When you joined, you said.
Yeah. When I joined them, you know, and then we used to practice a lot because we had nothing else to do. We'd go to school, then we'd go rehearse for 2-3 hours every other day. And we had a place to rehearse, and we got really tight really fast. What happened was one time, Robert Lopez walks into the rehearsal room and he says to me, well, to all of us, he says, "Hey, I hear there's this thing called punk rock in England." And we're like, what the hell's that? You know? And
so let me, so punk rock came originally from England, right?
Well, that's but there's always that debate that it was New York first, but you know, it could have been that it just sort of happened at the same time for all I know, you know,
right?
Because in England you had Malcolm McLaren who opened a store called Sex, which was basically punk rock style clothes.
Okay,
you know, and then you know he took the New York Dolls and was trying to make them even more rebellious by giving them a different style and everything. But because of Malcolm McLaren and the store Sex, that's how the Sex Pistols came to exist.
Sure.
He put that together.
So you're saying that Malcolm McLaren also got involved with the New York Dolls, you said?
Yeah, at first, before he created the Sex Pistols.
But they were from America, right?
Yeah, they were from America, but he wanted to take them to England and make them into basically what the Sex Pistols became.
So what happened?
I don't know. I guess they had difference of opinion.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, so that's how the Sex Pistols came to be the Sex Pistols.
Sure.
He found these other guys, and he was really getting them more for what they look like than for what musicianship they had. I mean, Steve Jones was a great guitar player, and Paul Cook a great drummer.
Definitely.
You know, and obviously Johnny Rotten was the singer, but Sid Vicious couldn't play the bass for shit, but he looked cool, and that basically was more important for the look. You know, I mean, that's how that went.
It's more about the looks, right?
Yeah. That's how that happened. But in New York, a lot of stuff was happening too. And then
at the same time,
yeah. And then here in the West Coast, we came to find out about it. And then, like I said earlier, like L.A., San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, they started to really embrace the punk rock scene and make of bands and stuff.
Right.
But San Diego, nothing, because San Diego is very well. At one point, it was too close to Hollywood, so anything that happens in Hollywood,
Yeah.
affects San Diego.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of why San Diego didn't have anything active, and then it took maybe 3 more years after we formed
Mm-hmm.
for San Diego to really have a music scene. But then at that point, the music scene was more about, there was a couple of punk bands like the Penetrators, and
Mm-hmm.
the Dinettes, and but then there was more about like these mod bands, wannabe mod bands that were like the
Mm-hmm.
Shambles and the Telltale Hearts and the Crawdaddies, and they were basically
Mm-hmm.
following the 1960s English bands like the Yardbirds
Sure.
and the Eric Burdon and the Animals and the Who, that kind of sound.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were going for that.
Yeah.
But the Zeros, we had already moved to San Francisco in September '78, like 2-3 years before that even happened.
Right. 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 So how did you develop your music?
I just was influenced by so many different types of bands and sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and my inspiration to be a musician obviously was the Beatles, and then I learned how to play guitar to their records, also to the Ventures records, and then I moved over to bass, and then I basically learned how to play bass by playing to the New York Doll records.
Oh, okay, okay.
John Lennon's Rock and Roll album, which came out in '75, and I bought it, and I was playing along to those bass lines and learning all that, and then I learned all the songs with the Zeros.
Yeah,
and it just went on from there.
Yeah, but the Zeros as a band, you guys developed your band as a punk band, right?
Well, that's kind of how it happened. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Javier was more influenced by Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground than the New York Dolls.
Okay.
But then Iggy Pop and the Stooges were kind of punk before they even realized they were punk. And so that's where we got our influences for the sound we had.
Got it.
But the music scene that accepted us for who we were, which were 4 skinny Mexican kids with tight pants and pointy shoes that, in Chula Vista Junior High, they think we were weird because we dressed that way, right? But in LA, in the punk scene, we got accepted. And so we became part of that scene. And therefore we became influenced as well by the bands that we used to play with too. And got known to be a punk band. We used to play in LA so much that people thought we were from East LA. And
why is that?
Because that's what they assumed, because we were in LA a lot.
Okay.
And so I would tell them, I said, I'm sorry, but no, we're from Chula Vista. They're like, where the hell is that? San Diego. The Dills, who lived in Carlsbad in North County.
Really? The Dills? Okay.
Yeah, and we only found out about them through other punks in the LA music scene who said, hey, there's another band from San Diego called the Dills. Yeah. So we were all excited because we got to meet these guys, I mean... And we got to meet them, and it was 2 brothers, Chip Kinman and Tony Kinman. And, once we became friends, I mean, I'm still friends with Chip to this day. I mean, probably be friends till we die. The guy's family to me.
Are you guys in the same age?
Same pretty much. Okay. Yeah, he might be maybe a couple years older than me, but not that much,
Going back to your music, Hector, lyric-wise, so what is your song about, usually?
Well, I mean, you can write about anything, Usually it's about love, right?
Love songs.
Yeah, I mean that's the basically the universal theme of all songs. Whether it's falling in love, falling out of love, being in love, not being in love, loving somebody, hating somebody, you name it.
So you guys are not writing songs about being a rebel and all that, or?
Oh no, we were. I mean, with the Zeros, I mean, we had a song called "Don't Push Me Around." Basically it's saying, hey, don't tell me what to do, I mean, I can think for myself, basically. Or Beat Your Heart Out was basically like, oh, this girl likes me, but I don't like her, so deal with it. Kind of thing.
Right.
But I mean, I got influenced by Javier and Robert writing songs, because they were writing songs, and then I wrote the first song I ever wrote was called Nothing, and it's basically about getting home after school and you got nothing to do, and you're like talking about how bored you are, and like there's nothing.
You weren't doing your homework.
Well, I mean, but I mean something more exciting than that. But and then I got influenced by bands like the Clash and
Sure.
and the Ramones and other bands that we had already played with, like the Dills or the Avengers and stuff. And I wrote a song called "They Say That Everything's All Right," which is basically singing about, hey, don't believe what the politicians tell you,
Sure.
because most of it, the time, it's just a bunch of bullshit. So they can either get your vote or tell you they're going to do one thing and then do another, do the opposite. And that's what that song's about,
So you were also part of the songwriting process, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wrote my songs, Robert wrote his songs, and Javier wrote his songs. Yeah.
Nice.
And we threw them all in the pot, and we all support each other's songs.
Right. So you guys write songs. I mean, the four of you guys, just three.
Yeah, Baba didn't write songs.
The drummer.
Yeah, he didn't write songs, but he did. He did sing. He would sing "Roadrunner" by Bo Diddley, which we used to play live, and that was always fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you guys have a huge followers here in San Diego.
Well,
when I saw you guys at the
at the Casbah.
No.
The Adams Street Fair.
The Adams Fair.
Yeah, well,
huge crowd.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. Well, I mean, after all these years, I would hope something would happen. Because somebody was paying attention,
right? Because the people were singing were singing along with the song.
Oh well, yeah, they know the songs. That's pretty. Yeah, it's nice to see that, and very appreciative for that.
You guys sound really good, but let me ask you more about the people that you met.
Oh yeah, well
let's go back. Let's go back there. And
okay, then, well, after the Zeros broke up, I had a band called Flying Color, and Flying Color was more. It wasn't punk at all. It was more like Beatles, Badfinger, Raspberries kind of. But that was, I kind of went back to that sound, and we practiced a lot. We put out a record. We toured twice the U.S. in 87, 88. And then 87, we did a 6-week tour, and in Missoula, Montana, we met a guy who was the entertainment director for the Missoula University, and he and the band got along really great. We made really good friends with this guy. So he invited us, said, "Hey man, it's like whenever you guys want to come to Missoula, let me know. I can get you guys on a good gig." So of course I'm asking him, like,
right.
Who's coming to town? Who's coming to Missoula? Maybe And he said, "Oh, back then Johnny Cash was alive, Roy Orbison was alive. It's 87." And I said, "Man, get us on that Roy Orbison gig." He goes, "Oh well, unfortunately those acts have a opening band touring with them already." He says, "But I do have Smokey Robinson coming in, and we don't have anybody opening up for him." So Beatles sounded
nice.
And then we got to meet him at the concert. Backstage we were hanging out, and he's super nice, super cool dude. And we also opened up for a famous hippie named Timothy Leary in San Francisco.
I think you told me about that.
Yeah. He's part of that whole hippie movement with the Grateful Dead and all that stuff.
Did he invent that kind of that?
Well, he was one of the pioneers of like taking LSD and writing about it and stuff. And he was very well known. And that was probably the weirdest gig I've ever played, because he didn't play a guitar. He just we played. There was two bands actually. Penelope Houston's folk band opened up, and she's the singer in the Avengers, who I play with now. Her band opened up. We were in the middle slot, and then Timothy Leary came out, sat down on a stool, and talked about his experiences to all the people that were there. That was basically what he did.
Was he the inventor of that?
I wouldn't say inventor, but I think he made it. He put it out there for people to be aware of it, to know about that.
Was this in San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco, at the On Broadway.
All right,
1987. And then who else did we? Oh, we opened up for the Replacements at the Fillmore.
Oh, nice.
And that was a great gig, That was really cool.
What year was that?
That was probably late 87 or early 88, somewhere in there. Yeah. And that was with Flying Color. And then with then I had, after Flying Color broke up, pretty much right after that, I had a band called MCM and the Monster. And it was a rap.
MCM, you said?
Yeah, MCM and the Monster. It was a rap rock and roll band.
What year was this?
88.
Oh, 88.
After Flying Color broke up.
88.
And that was It was like AC/DC with one of the Beastie Boys up front. That's the kind of, because we had a live band. And we had a scratcher too.
Wow.
A DJ.
A DJ.
Yeah, Pawsey, DJ Pause. That guy was amazing, man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so.
And you play bass, you said.
No, in that band that was rhythm guitar.
Oh, rhythm.
Yeah. And with that band, we opened up for the Beastie Boys. We opened up for Ice-T,
Nice.
Fishbone.
Sure.
The Untouchables. I mean, the list goes on and on. We used to get really great gigs. Jet and Primus too.
Yeah. Wow.
And I, met those guys.
Did you did you meet Joan?
Yeah. Actually, in the spring of '78, I lived in LA for like a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to have an apartment just down the street from the Whiskey. I mean, it was like half a block down the street from the Whiskey. Yeah. Wow. And when I was living there, she had a party there.
Right.
So I was at her party.
Nice.
Yeah, in her apartment, man. Yeah.
No kidding.
And she used to hang out with all the punks. She was really into the punk scene in LA.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's a punk rocker for sure.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
What year was that?
That what I'm talking about was the spring of '78.
78. Okay.
Yeah, I lived in LA for a little bit, and then I went back to San Diego.
Yeah, talking about Joan Jett. One of her songs was the song that I first learned on the guitar.
Oh yeah,
it's called "Fake Friends."
Oh okay, that sounds good.
Fake. It's a basic open chord.
Yeah.
But that's how I first learned. The guitar.
Oh yeah, cool. Usually play to your favorite rock records and favorite bands and musicians. You get inspired to play the instrument.
Yeah.
But you're lefty, I'm lefty.
But see, I play regular left-handed guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're playing a right.
It's strong right-handed, but it's a left-handed guitar. Strong right-handed.
I mean, do you strum upward?
No, man. I just strum regular. You can't hear the difference when you have the drums in there and you have the other guitar there and the singing and the other and the bass. It just blends in.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said, "Oh, it sounds weird."
Yeah. But anyway, so you told me that you met David Lee Roth.
Oh yeah, that was another one, but that was by accident.
How was that like?
Well, it was one of those weekends when the Zeros went up to play at the Whiskey, and we were hanging out in front of the Whiskey, probably waiting for sound check or something. And then, as you may know, the Whiskey is on a corner street. It's on a corner street on Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, and so the entrance is just like maybe 30, 40 feet from the corner up Sunset Boulevard into the building. Yeah. And so Baba, the drummer in Zeros, and I were hanging out there. Sure. Talking, blah, blah. And then we saw this guy way down on the corner. And he was wearing like a tight silver lame with fringe down his pants. Yeah. And, crazy wavy blonde hair. Yeah. And I said to Baba, "Oh, look at that weirdo down there, man." Weirdo. Not loud, but he heard us. He heard me. Shit. And so he was down the corner. And he looked up. I heard that. He said, "I heard that." he looked up and then he started walking towards us. And then Baba and I were like, "Let's get in." We ran into the club, Yeah. Kind of disappeared in there. Oh, really? And then the funny part was like about a week later too, when we were in LA again. I was looking in a record shop, and there's the Van Halen record, right? The first record. And I see David Lee Roth. And I'm like, that's the guy that was in the corner at the Whiskey a couple of weeks ago. That was so funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's a trip. The same thing with AC/DC. The first time they came to the United States, they played at the Whiskey. You told me that earlier. Yeah. And that's the night I met Joey Ramone at the Whiskey. And I never heard of AC/DC. I didn't know who they were. I didn't even know what the name of the band that was on stage that night was, Do you remember what tour they were trying to promote at the time? That was their first time in the U.S. They were playing a small place like the Whiskey, man. That's a small club. It's compared to the sports arena. It's a tiny little place. Yeah. And I remember I remember distinctly when Bon Scott Angus Young got on top of Bon Scott's shoulders. Oh, okay. And I remember it because I was like, why is that guy wearing those funny little shorts with the funny little hat? Like a school outfit. Yeah. And then I just like, whatever. And then the same thing happened with that. At another time later, I'm in a record store and boom, there's an AC/DC record and there was a voltage, something, whatever. Yeah. High voltage. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, there's that guy that was at the whiskey playing guitar.
That was funny, dude.
Yeah, seriously, it was just by accident, man. That's crazy.
I think they started playing punk clubs. I think I saw a CBGB book.
Oh yeah. Well, they were playing all the small places in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know,
sure enough, they were in there.
Yeah, they got really big, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
Did you meet them, by the way? By any
No,
chance?
I never met those guys. No,
Right.
But I thought they were from Orange County when I first saw them. I was like, "What these guys from Orange County?"
Yeah. But they were from
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But
Who else? Who else did you meet?
well, Roman invited me to the movie premiere at the Chinese Grauman's Theater in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
And everybody was there. It was crazy. And then after that, there's a good one. After that, we went to the Actors Guild building because they were having an actor party.
Yeah.
And I was over there, and I'm standing. There was like a room that had tons of tables with tons of food, and you could just go there and pick whatever you wanted to eat. I was standing by the pizzas, and I was going to grab a slice of pizza, and then I heard this voice next to me going, "Hey, how's the pizza?" And so I turned over right like this, and it was fucking Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, shoot.
Asking me about pizza.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my.
You didn't recognize her voice then?
No, but I mean, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of popular people, a lot of famous people at that party.
Well,
but and then
well, because Whoopi, she had a very distinctive voice.
Well, I guess, but I wasn't like a fan. But it was pretty funny that she's asking me about the pizza. But and then I met Bruce Springsteen by accident too.
Yeah, sure.
In Hollywood.
How was he like?
It was nice, but it wasn't because I was a fan. Now I used to work at a place called the Soap Plant when I lived in LA, and during Christmas season. It was open till about midnight.
Bruce Springsteen, eh?
And the Soap Plant was a lot like Cuckooville because that's kind of where I got the idea for the colors and everything. Yeah. Because they had a really crazy, colorful store.
Yeah.
And I went there to pick up my paycheck like around 10 p.m. that night because it was Christmas season. They always stay open till midnight. And so
I go paycheck from playing
from working at the Soap Plant because I used to work there.
A soap plant?
That's the name of the store, but it's not a soap plant. It's a store like my store.
Gotcha. Oh, a convenience store.
Well, yeah, just got a bunch of goofy stuff in it.
Sure.
Anyway, so I go in there to get my paycheck, and my friend behind the counter says, "I'll go get it for you." So she went back to the office to get it.
Right.
And I could see a guy standing in the front of the door, like we're looking at the door over there.
Right.
But he had his back to me.
Wow.
I couldn't see his face. And I thought, okay, whatever. So I'm looking around, trying to get my paycheck, waiting for my paycheck, and I'm looking at stuff. And then next thing I know, I go up to the counter because my friend's there with the paycheck, and I go up there and like you're standing there, and I'm over here, and I go up to the counter, and then I look over, and I say, "Hey, how's it going?" And I look like that, and it's fucking Bruce Springsteen was standing there. I'm like, what the hell?
You knew it right away that he was Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, well, yeah. Once I saw his face, I was like, holy shit, the boss is here.
Right, the boss.
Anyways, but yeah, that was pretty funny. It was totally by accident, man.
Wow. Did he buy something or?
I don't know. Probably. I'm sure he probably bought some platform shoes. He's really short,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was he like, by the way?
I don't know. He feels okay. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "Oh, good." That was it. Like, so then I'm like, "Oh shit!"
So he didn't introduce himself. "Hey, I'm Bruce Springsteen."
No. No, I don't think he's that type of guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, no, I've had my moments. Most of them by accident, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Anything more that you want to share, Hector? As far as musicians that you met.
Wait, I forgot about Ace Frehley. I got to play with Ace Frehley,
man.
Holy
so,
shit.
How was Ace? And where did you meet him?
I was a big fan of Kiss when I was 16, and then my little brother got into Kiss because I was into Kiss. and then he became super obsessed with my little brother Victor with Kiss. Victor lived in Hollywood for 8 years, from 2000 to 2008. He used to work at the Virgin Megastore record store on Sunset Boulevard.
Doing what?
Well, just retail. The cash register, and all these celebrities would come in there. Like, I mean, Tom Petty would go in there and buy records, and you name it, they'd be in there buying records. Ace Frehley would go in there and buy records, and Victor made friends with some of these guys.
Sure.
And so, Ace Frehley was touring, doing a solo tour. I can't remember what year that was, but he was going to Hollywood to play.
Friends comment.
And my brother and his friend Rachel went. Well, they were friends then, but they used to be in a relationship together. They went up to see Ace Frehley, and then Rachel ended up in a relationship with Ace Frehley. And so then she taught Ace Frehley to move to San Diego from Connecticut.
Right.
So he moved to San Diego. And then my brother was friends with Ace at that point. And so my brother was getting all the friends that he had to help Ace Frehley move. And then he contacted me, my brother, and said, hey, Ace Frehley moved all his stuff across the country, but some of his picture frames got broken. Can you look at them? Because I used to work at a picture frame shop years ago, and I used to know how to do all that. I said, yeah. And then I thought, okay, this is a good way to meet Ace Frehley, because I never met him,
Sure.
So I went over with my brother to his penthouse. He used to live right off of Balboa Park on 6th Avenue.
And you're a fan too, right?
Yeah, I was a fan, but I had gone way past the obsession of Kiss years before that.
Okay.
But it was cool. I thought, he's one guy that I really like.
Yeah.
And then I met him. He was pretty nice. He was when I walked into his penthouse, he had a mannequin in the hallway of Space Ace. It had the costume and everything.
Sure.
And the makeup on it. Yeah. But I remember when I saw it, I said to myself, oh my God, that looks more like Tommy Thayer. Really? And then I was like, no, I'm not going to tell him that, because he'll probably get mad. Yeah. Because I thought it was funny, but he probably wouldn't have thought it was funny.
Must have been Tommy.
Yeah. And then anyway, so I met him. He was in his man cave. He had a room that was converting to like a recording studio, and he had guitars hanging in the wall.
Was this here in
San Diego? Yeah.
So when did he move here again?
I'm trying to remember what year that was. It was 2007 or 8, somewhere in there.
Up in Carlsbad, is it Carlsbad?
What?
Where he moved here?
No, he lived off of Balboa Park, right on 6th Avenue.
Oh, really? That close, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man, you're messing up my store.
Okay. So I didn't know that. I thought for the longest time up north.
No, he lived down here off of Balboa Park. When I got there into his office, he was trying to put together this office chair that he couldn't figure out. So I said, I'll take care of it. So I built this chair for him.
Right.
And then he gave me the picture frames. He had like 5 picture frames that were broken. And one of them was a gold record for Destroyer, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he had this.
That's a classic album.
And then he had Psycho Circus. The picture frame was broken on the original art of Psycho Circus. And then he had this huge, I mean, it was like that tall, that wide painting that some Kiss fan did of him, and he wanted that frame with a mat and glass. That thing would have weighed a ton. It was so big. But anyways, I took it anyways, and then a couple of other things, and then I had a friend who has a picture frame shop just down the street from here in his garage. That's how he does his living. I said, I'll take it to Jeff Kamak and see what he can quote me on fixing all this stuff. Right. And I told him it was from Ace Frehley, and he didn't believe me at first. He goes, "Come on!" And I said, "Well, who would?" Yeah. But then finally, he said, "Okay, I'll let you know how much it's going to cost." And then he gave me a price. He says, "I'm not charging you for labor. I'm charging you for the parts, and I'll get it all together." I said, "That's great."
Okay. Yeah.
Then I called Ace. I said, "Hey, it's going to be $1,500 for everything." It was like 5 big picture frames. Wow. Repairs. And he said, "Oh, I don't know. I got to think about it."
Somebody said.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, the guy was worth $25 million at the time.
Hey, you got the money. What are you talking about?
And he didn't want to spend that. And I said, okay, well, whatever. And then
he must have been cheap, man.
And he goes, yeah, I'll talk to your brother about it. I'll talk to Victor about it. See, we'll make a decision.
All right.
So then Victor calls me a few days later.
He didn't even charge him for labor, right?
No, well, for nothing, because he didn't want to pay the money to fix him.
Oh, fudge.
So he says, "Oh, my brother's going to pick him up. We'll figure it out." I said, "Okay, whatever."
He was stingy.
Well, yeah.
So what happened? So the job didn't happen.
Didn't happen. No, my brother picked up all the stuff all broken, like but then about a year later,
right?
Or I think it was about a year later or so, my friend Steve Rodriguez from the Dragons, the bass player, died, and then Mario Escovedo, who's also my friend, asked me to play bass for a memorial gig with the Dragons, at the Casbah, and I said, "Yeah, let's do this." And then a few days after the first rehearsal, Mario said, "Hey, you're not going to believe this, but I think Ace Frehley is going to come and play a song with us."
Sure.
The Casbah. We played "Bad Reputation" with Ace Frehley, and I thought, "Oh, I can be Gene Simmons for a day."
Yeah,
it was hilarious. I was sticking my tongue out and walking like I had crap in my pants.
So he knew the song, by the way. Ace.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It was really, that was quite a moment, to play with them. Oh, the other famous person I played with and I met was Peter Best, the first Pete Best, the first drummer for the Beatles.
Of course. I saw a picture of you and him.
Yeah, because when I had the Baja Bugs, the Beatles cover band, we always played the Beatles fair here in San Diego.
Right.
And that year, the guy who was doing the stage managing the stage was a friend of mine. Said, "Hey, we're going to do this thing where a couple of San Diego musicians will get up and play a song with Pete Best." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." He goes, "Yeah, be ready. I want you to do a song with him." And I was really like, "Wow, that's crazy." This guy played with Paul McCartney and George Harrison and John Lennon. And I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah, but going back, I mean,
it was cool. It was fun.
What famous songs did he play? I mean, Pete, on those early recordings?
On the earlier recordings, he's on one version of "Love Me Do."
Okay.
And then there's also the live in Hamburg recordings.
Was this being released or?
No, they're already out. Yeah, a long time ago.
So it's been released
a long time ago. Yeah, and then in 1995, the Beatles Anthology came out. Anthology 1, 2, and 3, and Pete Best is on Anthology 1. All the recording sessions.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the studio sessions that he did with the Beatles are on that Anthology 1.
But let me ask you, I don't play drums, but who plays better, Best or Starr?
It all depends, I mean. The myth is that Pete Best wasn't as good as Ringo, but I think it had a lot to do more with personality.
Right.
Because Pete Best was like a quiet guy.
Sure.
And then the other three guys in the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and
they were the loud ones.
They got along really good, and they were like knew how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
When Ringo came around, he fit that personality. He was like those other guys, where Pete Best was always like more quiet and he kind of very reserved. That was really a big part of it. But Mick Jagger used to call. What the Mick Jagger used to call the Beatles? The four-headed monster in the 60s. Monsters. Yeah, because they were like a musical gang. I mean, they instead of carrying knives, they carried guitars, but they were tight. They understood each other really good.
So when Ringo joined the band, the chemistry was right.
Oh yeah, that was the missing ingredient for sure.
Because
for the appeal,
right? Because Pete was a little quieter.
Yeah, and Pete was a lot more quieter. Yeah, a little more reserved. But he's a really sweet man. I mean, I had dinner with him 3 times.
Really?
It was amazing. Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing here?
Right.
But it was cool.
Was he touring the U.S. or visiting?
Well, he got hired. He was the special guest for the Beatles convention here in San Diego.
Wow.
And so he flew out here with his brother Rogue Best, who's also his father is very famous. He was the Beatles road manager.
Nice.
Neil Aspinall. But yeah, so that was really cool. Nice. But I tell people Pete Best is the most famous and wealthiest guy that ever got kicked out of a band, because even that connection with the Beatles, he's made a lot of money because he was always doing these Beatle conventions all over the world. I mean, he's traveling to South America and Europe and everywhere for these Beatle conventions, and he gets paid a lot of money for that.
Wow. Not from the royalties, right?
Well, I don't know. Probably from the anthology royalties. He made a lot of money on that contract when who presented the award to us. And then
Wow.
after that, he got on stage and we did 2 songs with him, and that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, do you still have that award or?
Yeah, it's at my house.
Wow. So wow.
And I had him
cool.
autograph it too. So he autographed the bottom of it.
By him. By him.
Yeah, and he passed away about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's no longer around. But yeah, you know, I have my moments.
Nice. Well, Hector, thanks for sharing your wonderful stories, man. I've been wanting to hear more about it, so thanks for sharing us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Again.
Of course.
And no, there was one last famous guy I met. His name is Oliver Custodio.
Oh, do you know him?
Yeah, he's a bit mabaho, but he's okay.
Does she know what it means by mabaho?
I mean, he's stinky in Tagalog.
I think I shower over there. I don't know. Something's going on right there. Right? Yeah. But anyways, Hector, so when's the next show, man?
Valentine's Day at the Casbah with my own solo band. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Loons are playing, and Pat Todd and the Raconteurs from LA will be on the bill. Yeah, it's going to be a fun show.
The Raconteurs.
Yeah.
Without Jack White.
Right, not with Jack White. No, it's a different Raconteurs.
Oh, okay, nice.
But
a different version.
Yeah, a different version. Yeah, it's a Temu version.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna be there for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.
Sayonara. Adios.
Thanks, man.
Bonjour. Bonsoir.